Good morning, YouTuber. Honey, where are we going?
We're going to Ai2 Asheville Industries to pick up the best forklift attachment for BX you can buy.
Good morning. Today we are going to see Tony.
Hey Tony, how's it going?
Not too bad.
Hey,
I just come back into the developer shop, kind of cleaning some crap up.
Well, we're here today. We decided to come out to Ai2, which is Tony Asheville's company for making BX attachments. So if anybody has bought any, you know what I'm talking about and what great work he does. So we're going to go say hi to Tony. Tony,
How you doing, Chris?
nice to see you.
You bet. Glad you made it. Didn't
yeah.
get lost, obviously.
This is it. I found out about that Tony makes some excellent stuff. He's just a fabulous fabricator. He makes stuff like they should be made. And being a tech that likes to take things that work and make them work like I like to work, I can really relate to what Tony does. He's just pro all the way. So I thought in one of my videos that someday I'm going to get one of these things. Well, that day is today. So that's why I'm here seeing Tony. And he's the man.
We try to be.
Yeah, well, he is. And Angie, of course, runs the office, does a fantastic job. She's not here, so we can't see her today.
She might scoot in because she's sent me a text about coming down here a little bit.
Okay.
A little while,
Well,
but I don't know
maybe,
if she'll show up while we're here or not.
Maybe we'll be blessed with that after all.
I have two
We'll
little
see.
kids with her at the same time, so.
Okay. Anyway, so I thought, well, as long as we're here, we do a little bit of a tour here so that you can see where all the magic happens.
Yeah, you can see the method to the madness is
That's
what I like
right.
to say.
Yep, so this is the man, so we're just going to...
And we'll go out in the shop. And then just to add to your whole thing with with what a lot of dealers are doing with the skid loader, because we have to clarify, you have the skid loader hitch on your tractor. What a lot of dealers are doing is taking a skid loader pallet fork and putting it on a BX. So it's really designed for a machine that can pick up about 2,000 to 3,000 pounds. And that's why they're so big and heavy. But a lot of dealers don't have access or not even looking to find other options. So they're saying, here, we can sell you this skid loader pallet fork. And the other side of it is their skid loader pallet forks are a dime a dozen. Everybody and his brother makes skid loader pallet forks. You can pick them up for $500 to $600.
Right.
Or whatever. Pretty cheap, but now you got a 300-pound set of forks or more because it's made for a skid loader, not a compact tractor.
And I think that's about what I figured mine weighed.
Right.
You know, I just was unable to put all the weight I wanted on there, so I thought, hey, get into something that's about, didn't you say that this is about the same weight as a bucket?
It's about 100, the factory bucket, like a factory bucket on what you have weighs about 130 pounds. This weighs about 180 pounds.
Okay, but it's a lot closer.
Right.
You know, and again, I guess the main reason why it's so more is because of that quick disconnect attachment.
Right.
So it's very handy, but it's also a bit of a weight penalty. But in my case, you know, it's like with what I do, I'll shave off a few things just to be able to use stuff like that and be able to switch it easily.
And that's the thing, and being like this version is for a skid loader, it's 10 inches wider than the other one I built because I had to make it wider to accommodate the skid loader hitch. The skid loader hitch is like 40, just shy of 45 inches in width.
Oh, okay.
It's like the pallet forks I built for the older generation tractors are only 36-inch wide carriage. This one still uses the same exact fork, just a wider carriage and a carriage that now it's designed to work with that skid loader. Or some people call it the two-lever hitch, or the skid loader hitch. Kubota calls it the swift hatch hitch.
But you make them all, so
I make it for either way.
Yeah, any BX owner out there that's got, you know, the older generation tractors, he makes that stuff too, and that's nice and compact and lighter weights. It's going to have more capacity. It's basically, in my opinion, this is stuff that is built to match your machine. So if you're a BX owner, this is a great guy to get to know.
Right. Yeah. Everything I build is built specifically for the BX, not just any generic tractor. I mean, I can make them for other tractors, but I've kind of pretty much tuned those out. Now I focus strictly on BX because that's the market that I'm in, and it's just much easier to become a master of one thing and try to
Absolutely.
master too many things. So.
Well, this is the master.
Yeah.
So we got that
We head out
established.
into the
Where all the magic
Yeah.
happens.
Really want the chocolate back.
And I just wanted to show my wife here too. She's got her proper garb on, and instead
Yeah.
of pink shoes, she
Are
has
those
the right
actually-
color on now.
Are those orange?
Honey?
I didn't even notice that till now.
Did you meet Tony yet? Tony's my wife.
Are
John
you
Tana.
doing? Yep.
Yeah, this is the camera girl behind the scenes here, so
We always
she's
gotta
the
get-
one that, yeah, and I just wanted to get a
We
little
both have
match here.
significantly better looking camera girls.
Yeah, well, and that's it, yeah, and you've got a real gem there, so hopefully we'll get to see her a little bit later too. But, okay, so this is it. This is where
Yeah,
all the
this is
magic
where
happens.
all
This
you
is
can see
fantastic.
all the stuff I have in here.
Yeah, oh, and
got-
you make those oversized pads
Yep.
for this too, don't you?
This has got set out actually.
Yeah.
Actually, these are the ones that John Ritter did a video
Did
on.
he go with it? Oh, is that what he?
Yeah,
no,
these
I
are
knew
the
he was out
exact, when he was here, I had to back him on the tractor, because mine's sitting over there, it's pretty dirty right now, actually. But, I had this on there, and that caught his eye, he's like, oh, because that wasn't even, I
So
wasn't
he-
even really looking to promote them at all.
there. And
He
so
caught-
he
he
didn't
saw
even
it.
come out here for these.
No, he just came out here just to do a kind of a generic video,
Oh.
and he's like, hey, what's this? Because he was walked around the shop first,
Uh-huh.
and then kind of started so he could kind of get a lay of the land and what he wanted to do, and that I was like, we got to do video on those.
Absolutely.
So-
Well, I know that the unit itself comes with, it's kind of a small pad, I mean, they're compact.
Yeah, I've got one over here.
Because this thing is huge compared to those. Oh, okay, so that's what it comes with.
Yeah,
The
these are
factory.
these are the
okay.
factory. We'll set it right next to
Yeah,
it.
that's a good way to compare.
So you got a visual comparison.
And you've actually got teeth in there to give it a
Yeah.
nice bite too.
Yeah, those are.
How's that for a comparison?
Yeah,
Look
this
at
is
that.
what you get as far as from the factory. And believe it or not, I don't know this for sure, but I think even the Gen 1 machines with the original BT600 series loaders use this exact same foot.
Is that right?
I think they use a little different pin. This one's got a pin that has snap rings on both sides. I think the pin's a little different, but it's the same foot overall. And yeah, so they've just kind of stuck with that from the beginning. And this is one of those things that, you know, like a lot of product ideas come from customers. They're like, hey, you need to come up with this, you need to come up with that. Well, this was one of those things. And from my own personal experience using them, these things just sucked.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't.
Well, for one thing, there's no teeth on the grip, and it almost, you got some kind of a pad or something underneath?
There's rubber feet on these.
Oh, wow. So that's like perfect for capturing the best of both worlds. You got the rubber pad on there to grip on a surface like this, for example, or, you know, maybe if you get on some concrete.
Yeah, if you're on concrete, it won't slide around. You won't
Right.
leave marks on your.
But then you got the teeth in there too, so that if you're pushing down into something, you know, like dirt or gravel or whatever, then you got the teeth to grip it. So that's definitely the way to go with something like that.
Yeah, I said there's just a lot. Actually, we got parts. I just got parts in here the other day to make more of these.
Oh,
You
nice.
can see the parts here that. This is what when I come back from the laser
Got a
shop.
shot of this, honey. Look at this. He's got the emblem all etched right in here. That is really sharp. And all your parts here too.
Yeah,
So-
this is actually the new quick attach mounted 2-inch receiver hitch for your tractor.
Oh,
So this, I'll show you the one. This is what it looks like for. See, if you have my quick attach on here, this is the receiver hitch that goes on the front of that,
oh, okay.
and it just clips into the quick hitch.
See, no, but I ended up going with like one of these receivers that's also a weight rack and everything. But if I didn't have that, I probably would have did something like that.
Yeah, and this goes in on the loader itself.
Oh, okay.
This isn't a 3-point
oh,
motor one.
Okay, I understand.
So that one goes in the front quick attach.
Okay.
So like on the front of that one.
I see. So,
And then this also does that,
oh,
and it hangs just in front. This is the pallet forks, but it hangs. I got some pictures of it I can show you, but this is like the revamped version. I made a set originally, and then I made it a little too wide, so when you try to put it on the quick hitch, it bound up. So I had to I brought it in about 3/16 of an inch, so it was a little sloppier fitting, and changed some stuff. But I just got those parts the other day.
That's gonna be a really exciting product because, I use mine to move the trailer around, but it is tough to see. And when I'm backing in, I really gotta stop. Like I did one video just to kind of show that the tractor works well for moving a trailer. But I'm having to get off the thing, just to take a look around. I'm not gonna put mirrors on it.
Well, that's the thing, when you got it on the front,
But on the front.
you can
then
guide
see
it better because your steering tires are now in the front, so
Right.
it just makes it, and then you're not looking back.
Right.
And it's like, it's hard on my neck to be steered backwards all the time.
That's gonna be a great solution, I think we're gonna sell a pile of those.
So then it basically has a hitch just like this, is what it looks like. This is the snowplow mount for the mount for the snowplow,
Yeah.
but it's that hitch piece hangs in between, basically
Oh,
mounts
okay.
similar to this and then just hangs on the front of the tractor.
That's really slick.
Because that's, for the snowplow this year, I made it so I can put on whichever mount I need, so I can either bolt this mount on or the standard one on.
Nice.
I don't have any, I've got plows sitting in here, but they're not assembled.
Right.
But here's what we're really after,
Well, this is what I came here for, so.
the fork carriage, and then here's the forks. And this has basically been obviously developed specifically to work with the skid loader hitch. The BX would be the 2410 is their official part number, model number for that hitch. And I got one sitting right there.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I got another one over here on the front of a bucket, so
Oh, take a look at that.
this is basically what you've got in yours.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
same bucket. This is the one we took off. A friend of mine that we just did a video on putting my quick attach on a new 80 series BX, so we took all this off, and he's running my quick attach now instead of this one.
Really?
And then he's got my 50-inch bucket that I have up there.
Oh, okay.
So actually, by going to this combination here weighed 229 pounds. That combination with my bucket and quick attach was 187, so it was a 40-pound
Wow.
gain in lift capacity by just swapping it back.
Well, with a BX, it's not like this huge machine where you've got this huge capacity. And to me, anything you can pick up is just that much more.
Well, that's the thing. That's about a 10% increase, 40 pounds just by itself in lift capacity by getting rid of excess weight.
Right.
Because they actually made this bucket a little lighter from the other, that's the same factory bucket that you get on an 80 series if you had the pin-on bucket.
Oh, right.
The only thing they do different is the mount's they changed the mount a little bit on the back, but it's the same bucket. This bucket weighs about 140 pounds.
Okay.
That bucket weighs 130 pounds, so they're about 10 pounds lighter. But they had to make that bucket taller because this bucket was too short to work with a hitch.
Right.
So that way but they say it's the same bucket from the 50 series, the 2350 they came out with this bucket and it's still the same bucket used on your tractor. Well, if you have a pin-on bucket version.
Yeah.
If you've got the skid loader version, then you've got that version right there.
Right.
But it's basically the same. It's a taller version of that, a little bit, sucked in a little bit.
Yep.
But,
Cool.
so no, yeah, now this,
You've got all kinds of great machines in here too. So this, let's talk to us just for a minute about what you've got here.
yeah, this is the water jet machine. This is actually the high pressure pump. So this is the pump that actually builds all the pressure. And it comes out on this, obviously this end, I was cutting some 2-inch nylon on Friday, some parts for a company that I do work with. I got cat prints all over here, you can see my cat. She's up
Gotta inspect your work.
Yeah, she's up there sleeping somewhere. So I was cutting some 2-inch nylon, and then I've got it took about, I think it's about 5 hours to cut those. And then I gotta do another row of parts here. There's some,
Wow, is that ever cool? This is a serious piece of plastic here.
Yeah,
Is this like an ABS or
it's
something? Or?
cast nylon.
Oh, a nylon.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's hard stuff, heavy and expensive. I think this is about a $1,200 sheet of plastic.
Oh,
right here.
that's incredible.
Yeah, it's expensive stuff.
But look at the efficiency, where you're getting literally every single piece you can out of every square inch possible.
Yeah, 'cause you can
Doing
get
it this way.
40 parts out of this, and they used to do it where they would actually cut them out with a jigsaw
Oh,
and get maybe half of that.
yeah.
And then they'd stick them in a mill and then mill them down to about, I'd say 80% of this part, when it gets done, is round.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they put it in a
Huh.
jig and they actually radius this, and then that stays square at the end to fit into some, it's like an agitator for some dairy equipment.
Well, when you look at the cost of the parts, this is critical to make it as efficient as possible.
Yeah, because it's like you take what it costs per square inch for this material, and if you're wasting, you know, if you can double the amount of parts you're getting out of the same piece, you're saving money at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
And it saves them time too when it came to finishing the part. It was way easier to finish the part now.
Sure. Right.
So it's,
Right.
they've
Very
got the
cool.
cost of me to do it, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Tony was just gonna show me some custom stuff that he did here. Why don't you go ahead and explain that to me?
Yeah, see was this designed being you've got more length here? On the other ones you've got, on my standard versions, you're a 36-inch carriage, so you've got 6 inches in on either side. So you've got less distance in here that you're working with that will actually create pressure here. So like you get guys that'll put the forks right in the dead center and try to pry on something or lift, and I know people are doing that even though they're really not supposed to, they do it anyway, so you just gotta account for that. So I added this extra gusset in here because this, when you get this much length and you put the forks in the middle, you can actually get deflection through here where it'll actually flex. So now it's basically a half, 2 chunks of 1/4 inch, so you have 1/2 inch material supporting this through the bottom from this side, from this mount to that mount. And the nice thing too, and what people don't realize, is the hitch itself becomes structure for the attachment. So when you lock that hitch into there, now that hitch and this attachment kind of support each other. And it works on anything like that, because the hitch and the attachment, let's say when they join themselves, they're creating that extra structure. So now when somebody's pushing here, let's say they run the forks all the way to the middle and they're trying to pick something up or push on it, this will help support that whole, the lower rail of the carriage. So I had one prototype set I made, say, several years ago that a buddy of mine was trying out, and it was this narrower set, and I just noticed that this actually had load in there on that one. So I made changes to the current set to allow for that, but on that prototype set I was just seeing that. So on this one I put it in right away just because you're wanting to make sure that if people are using it in a ways that it really wasn't designed to use, because you just know customers are going to do that, that it will hold up to them. And then that's like with these cutouts here. These cutouts take weight out, but the other thing is when you're using it and if stuff lands here, it'll let stuff pass through. Same with on the top here. I knew that in this void right here, I don't know if you can see that, Chris, stuff was going to collect here.
Right.
So that we put a cutout in there just to keep stuff from collecting inside of these little pockets here.
Mm-hmm.
That way, when you're using it, say tree, bark or dirt, when you're picking stuff up and it lands on here, it's just not going to land and build up on the rail itself.
Very cool.
And then this fork is the exact same fork we use on both tractors, and you can actually see. Actually, this is the mount that goes on there, and then this mount gets welded to this fork tine. I actually have some of the tines are right over here. I get the tines from a manufacturer out of Kansas City. So this is how the tines show up.
Now, how long are those, Tony?
These are 36-inch long tines.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then they got what they call a 9.5-inch back, so they're just blank. There's no mount on them at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then these weld on, they go on there. Because nobody makes a fork exactly the way I want it. So in order to get what you want, you got to come up with your own deal. And I wanted to use 1/4-inch rails. And the other side of this is the old style forks that I used to make were all fabricated out of 7-gauge material or 3/16. Now these are all 1/4-inch mounts. But I wanted for guys that had the old set, if they wreck one or bend one, this new set will still work on the old carriages. So now it's the same mount on every carriage I've ever made. So it makes it versatile for guys that had, like I say, had older ones. They don't have to upgrade.
Oh yeah.
They can just buy new forks. But these forks are rated at 1,500 pounds for the pair. So 750 pounds a piece are what the tines are rated at. So they're way more than what the tractor will even handle. But
It's got that capacity, and then it's not too heavy, like in the case of my stuff, it was just too heavy
Right.
for the tractor. Very
So then,
cool.
Yeah, those gotta get put together. We gotta get those. This is what I got waiting for me this week, along with cutting and other work that I do besides just product.
Very cool. Well, listen, Tony, we don't want to take up all your day here. Tony was nice enough to actually come out here on a Sunday so that I could come out and pick this up from the cities. And, you know, if you ever need special service, this is the guy. But
Yeah, I'm here most Sundays anyways.
Well,
Self-employment's unforgiving.
Yeah,
So
this is true. But anyway, it's been a real pleasure. Thanks so much for the tour, for the excellent superior product that I think you folks can already tell. So look forward to next time. Thanks very much.
hopefully, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. This is the man.
More stuff. Put on your back.
Yep. Thumbs up.
Thumbs high.
Made in America ทำในประเทศอเมริกาดีที่สุด
After we got there, Tony and I started chatting. Unbeknownst to me, my wife is sitting up front, bored to tears. Well, I guess I probably knew, but we were so busy having a good time chatting. And she was being a good sport. But I didn't realize she was making fun of us behind our back. Also, as a matter of fact,
The factory was 3, and the guy bought 5. So it goes down the road, man. It pulls on this. It's good food.
But that's just if you're on a trip, you know, I don't know if you're part of it. That's what we do.
I like eventually that's what I want to do.
You want something that's quiet. I mean, that thing going down the freeway, with my dad sitting next to me, I can listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's all. My Dodge has been. Well, it has to go through a whole learning mode again.
Right, but it's just so smooth and stuff the way it is. So it's like,
It's broke,
it isn't
fix it.
right. You know, I mean, it's only like 530 on the floor and 320 on the horse, but compared to what I've drove my whole life, like I said, on a full-size Chevy van with a 305,
Right.
you know, this is like,
That thing, let's say if it's reliable and it does fantastically.
I just wish I had a 6th gear activated because
I suppose yours is 5-speed.
Yeah, it's the T1000 Allison. But it's actually, of course, a 6. So if I was willing to get the $1,500 boost, I calculated just to see. Unbelievable.
I don't know why guys don't see that. In my older age, when I'm pulling the trailer, 60. And the biggest thing is, I mean, I don't have to worry about obviously speeding, but the truck just runs so nice between that 60.
Yeah, it's